I first saw it 4 years ago when Geoffrey worked on something at my house. And I said, oh, if you ever want to sell that piano, I would love to
First
buy it.
in line, yeah, I figured.
So then he got the call, and then it turned out it didn't work out, and then now I have another call, so I'm excited.
So my sister had to agree to sell the piano, but I had already told her that I wanted it to go to Terrie, so. And it did.
I am so excited.
That piano has been in our family before I was born. 1962, maybe 63, I remember this piano in our living room. I was 3 years old, something like that.
So Indian Wells would have been before or after that?
After,
And what was Indian Wells?
my dad was working for Lucy. She had the Desi Arnaz Indian Wells Hotel. Then the piano at that time was in the bar. It was a makeshift bar. It was a room that they converted into a bar that was close to the pool, so they didn't have to run so far to serve drinks. So they used it. They put this piano in that room, and they used it as like a, the bartender would be behind here, and they'd serve from the top of the piano, and while one guy was playing it.
It's like you're documenting everything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is for provenance.
I'm Henry. I do piano work, and I live here in Cottonwood, and very happy to be here. 1932, actually late 1931. Well, it's very, very far out of tune. Hasn't been tuned in a long time.
I want to make sure we saw where it was coming from and where it's going to.
Just a moment, maybe I can help you.
Over at the hotel, they painted the doors on the Indian Wells Hotel like green, like lime green, or just yellow, like a lemon yellow. And so the piano got painted yellow. Maybe they had some extra paint left.
In my room, enough for two, I dedicate my every thought to loving you. While I'm making love to yesterday, you're loving someone new. And I take you back tomorrow, borrow, beg, or steal, it's true. That's what fools will do with an empty room enough for two. Why? Tell me why.
Oh my gosh, fabulous! Yay! It's so good. I'll just do a little here.
Yes, that's my grandmother, Dee Dee. They had pianos. They enjoyed music. She was funny. She made me laugh.
Where do you think Lucy got her sense of humor?
Well, I'm sure that was part of it. Dee Dee was very funny. She would make comments. She'd make those comments, just like would crack up just listening to like one comment. She didn't mince words, she just said what was on her mind. And it was usually pretty funny. She had a good angle on things.
It's so tasty, too. So why don't you join the thousands of happy, peppy people and get a great big bottle of Vita Vili Vili Meeny Mighty Mo. I think we're fighting a losing game.
This picture that was on the piano. Okay, if you look to the right of it, see that picture to the right here?
Oh, yeah.
You know what that is? 1943 MGM Stars.
Okay.
So I would think they would date that photo 1943 or later.
In my room enough for two, I dedicate my every thought to loving you. While I'm making love to yesterday, you're loving someone new. And I take you back tomorrow, borrow, beg, or steal, it's true.
If you wanted to talk about what it was like to live in Indian Wells.
It was like being spoiled every single day. We could go down to the restaurant and order anything we want, just sign the tab. That was always fun.
You were mentioning earlier that there was a bit of a falling out between Lucy and your brother after she married Gary Morton.
Not necessarily a falling out, it's just a quietness, a sabbatical, if you might say. Sabbatical communication. My dad was in his office, and then this guy named Mike Shovelin came into his office at the Indian Wells Hotel, and my dad was managing this for his sister, okay? Because she, in the divorce from Desi, she ended up with the hotel. So my dad operated it, I don't know, from 1964 or something to 1970. But 69, 70, that's when my dad, out of the blue, this guy walks in and says, the hotel's been sold, give me the keys. And they just came in, like, mobster style, and basically took over. And that was, from what I understood, was Frank Sinatra's group who came in there, because they're the ones who bought it. They just didn't say anything, they just came in and took over. They didn't announce themselves, oh, by the way, we're coming to close you down. And so a lot of people lost their job, including my dad. He didn't have a job at that moment, all of a sudden. So that was kind of one of the things that I can only imagine caused some stress between them. The property that was purchased here in Sedona, there was property purchased either for Lucy or, independent of Lucy. So my dad would, look for property and purchase it for Lucy.
In my room enough for two, I dedicate my every thought to loving you. While I'm making love to yesterday, you're loving someone new. And I take you back tomorrow, borrow, beg, or steal, it's true. That's what fools will do with an empty room enough for two. Why, tell me why, am I all alone?
So I just want you to know, Terrie, that the piano couldn't be in a more special place than with you. And it's getting more attention than it would have ever gotten where it was before. So trust me, it's my pleasure for you to receive and have this piano and do with it what you may.
Was played by Dora Singleton, and Harpo Marx portrayed himself. I Love Lucy is a Desi Lou production. Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz will be back next week at this same time.